Looking at the pile of makeup I have sitting next to me right now is actually making me kind of mad when I think about how much money I wasted on these products that are super viral and buzzed about that just did not work for me. So hopefully today I can de-influence you from buying some of these products. So the product that really inspired this was my most recent purchase, the Makeup by Mario Liquid Bronzer. So I did a video pretty recently testing this out very thoroughly. I did a very thorough video about this. Every shade of the new Kosas blushes, new Fenty foundations, plenty of other products. I can leave that linked if you want to see the super in-depth thoughts on it, but you saw in that video that I wasn't fully vibing with this new liquid bronzer, and every time I have used it since then, I have become more and more disappointed. So I have it on my cheeks today. I did not end up going in with any additional bronzer. Sometimes I'll layer a powder bronzer over top of a liquid, but I didn't do that today. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I look that bronzy. This product is so sheer in pigment that it's easy to use, but you also really don't notice much. And because of that, I'm never liking the result when I'm using this. And again, it's still new to me, but I already know I regret buying this. Not only was it $36, but I just don't love the result. And initially when I purchased this, I justified the price point because it comes with a ton of product. This is a ginormous liquid bronzer. They are including 1.01 fluid ounces of product. So initially I'm like, okay, well, it might be an expensive purchase up front, but the cost per use is gonna be pretty low because this is gonna last you forever. But after having this for a little bit now, I end up using so much more of this than I do my other liquid bronzers that come with less, to the point where I'm like, no, the math doesn't even add up like that because it's so sheer that I end up having to apply a ton of product. It does have the packaging that's kind of like dual purpose. So you can open it up and you have a doe foot, or you have the option to pump it out. And initially I thought the doe foot would be the main way that I use this product, but I found that applying it like this, again, it just doesn't even deposit enough. Once it's blended out, like there's nothing left. So what I ended up doing today was pumping a couple pumps of this on the back of my hand and then applying it like that with my sponge. I do think a brush and or your fingers is kind of a better option because the sponge can absorb a good amount of the product because it's so liquidy, but I also don't love the result with a brush or my fingers because it is so thin. Honestly, I just really regret buying this. I feel like liquid bronzers are definitely having their moment right now, and if you're looking at this versus the newer Glossier one, I like that one so much more. I haven't tried the Say one yet, but I'm sitting here now like, dang, I shouldn't have bought this. I should have bought the Say instead. Okay, this one, again, I'm like so angry just looking at this. The Too Faced Better Than Chocolate and Sex Mascara. Is that what this is called? Or did I just literally make that up? Wait, I think I just made that up. I think it is just called the Better Than Sex Mascara, but in the shade Chocolate. So this is Too Faced Brown Mascara. And I feel like I was seeing so many people rave about this whenever I would mention my search for the perfect chocolatey brown mascara. This was always a really popular answer that I would hear. People were like, you know, I think the Too Faced one is gonna be beautiful. And I, A, don't really love the formula of this, but B, didn't find it chocolatey enough. I feel like on my lashes, it was translating as basically black, but kind of a softer black. That isn't the end of the world for me because a lot of brown mascaras just look like a softer version of a black, but this just gave me no volume, no length, no nothing. It was doing so little for my lashes, and I find this to perform so differently than their original version of this that is black. Like the black one at least gave me more definition to my lashes. Now that's partially gonna be influenced by the color, but still, for $29 was such a waste of money. I have probably used this maybe 5 times. At the absolute most 6, and it's just gonna go bad before I use it ever again. My lashes always look so bad when I use this. It smudges, it will not hold a curl to save its life. It is horrible, like I hate this. I'm so sorry if you love this mascara. I mean, obviously people do love it because it was very highly recommended to me, but for me, it did nothing for my lashes, and it just was not as warm, beautiful, chocolatey brown as I was dreaming of. So this, huge now. Okay, the internet is so obsessed with this Sachu lip liner stain. It is a peel off product, so it's pretty cool, but I just don't love the way that it works. But if you have not seen this product, it is a lip stain and it applies super dark. Like I think that's why this looks so cool in videos and has gotten so much traction online, because it looks really cool and just eye-catching in a video because it applies so pigmented and then you are physically peeling it off of your lips. So I think it draws people in to watch the video, but I don't find this product to be that great. It is so much more effort than any other lip liner that I have, because you have to leave this on for like 5 to 20 minutes. I would say if you want it to last, I would like err on the side of 20. And that is so much work. I feel like I'll have to like fully be rearranging my getting ready routine. I'm like, wait, oh no, you're running out of time. Put the lip liner on now. Like, I don't want to have to sit here and think about the steps I'm going to do my makeup in order to be able to have this applied for long enough to be able to peel it off later. Like, even still, and you have to like sit there and wait. Like, if you move your lips too much, it's going to crack. Like, I would compare it to, like, you know, if you're whitening your teeth or something and you have something on there, or even, not even that actually. It's like if you have on one of those face masks that you can't crack and you just have to, like, talk like this. Like, I'll have this on and my roommate will come to say something to me. I'm like, oh, I can't talk right now. I'm going to ruin my lip liner. Okay, I'm being dramatic. I'm totally being dramatic here, but, like, I'm also kind of not. Like, it's just so much extra work when I'm like, I have other lip liners that I don't have to do that with, or lip stains that I don't have to do that with. This does not last any longer than my other lip stains. I would actually argue that it lasts for less time than most of them. And I also find it to be so much patchier than others. I just don't know why this is so popular outside of the gimmicky side of it. Like, I think if anything, that's where so much of the traction has come from, because people want to make a video about it because it looks cool on video, and I totally understand that element of it. But for the user, I think you will be so much better off buying any other lip stain and just applying it as a lip liner. Okay, here's where I'm going to lose people, but I have to speak my truth, and I regret buying the Sol de Janeiro number 68. This is the one that's supposed to be kind of a dupe to like Cloud or Baccarat or anything in that scent profile. And I just don't love this. And it's so weird because I love Cloud. I love all the dupes. There are like 5 million fragrances that you can buy that offer that same scent profile at this point. Like, they've definitely saturated the market with fragrances that smell like this. And I own many of them. And this is my least favorite of all of them. I don't know what it is. It lacks so much of the warmth and creaminess that I'm getting from Cloud. This for me is straight powder to the point that sniffing it almost hurts my nose. And again, I know I'm being dramatic, but there's something about it that's so sharp to the nose that is not enjoyable in any way. Like, this, I don't know how it can be so similar to all the other ones, but in just like the worst way possible. I don't know what it is. It is straight powder, and not even in a good way. Like, I do like some powdery notes in a fragrance, but this one just, I don't know, out of the Sol de Janeiro ones, this is the one. Number 40 all day. This is one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection. Like, I would drink this. That's not true actually, but I love number 40. Number 68, I really only bought 68 because I already loved 40 and everyone was talking about 68 and I was like, okay, well, let me see it. Major regret. Okay. I feel like this product has had a journey. When they were first announced, they had so much buzz, so much hype. Everyone was raving about them. And then as people were starting to try them, I feel like, the popularity and the hype remained. And now that it's kind of died down a few weeks, I feel like the truth is coming out and people are like, no, those aren't good. And that is how I feel about the Rare Beauty blushes. Like, I really regret buying this. This is the shade Cheer, which is the lightest one. This formula, this is a highlighter. This is the highlighter that Rare Beauty already sold, and they made them into blushy shades, which is fine and it's fun. And I get that blush toppers are so huge, but even the rollout that these had didn't really make sense to me. Like, this could have just been a shade extension in the highlighters, and then they could have been repackaged, or not even literally repackaged, but just kind of re-promoted as something you could wear as a blush topper. But if you buy this and you try to wear it as a blush, I think for most people you will be kind of disappointed because it is so hyper glowy. I feel like there is a certain type of person that will wear this and it will look beautiful, but for the most part, it's hard to put this much shiny glow right here on the face. Like, and I think what's throwing it off is you watch the videos and you see the creator like posing from the side. Anything super shiny is gonna look gorgeous from the side, but it's what you're seeing head on that just does not wear well for this formula in my opinion. I find that, why do I keep doing everything as A, B, C? I find that A, it emphasizes so much texture. Like if you're concerned about texture, don't even think about this product, okay? Any pores, any breakouts, anything, it is like magnified. And B, I think it translates a bit weird to have that much glow on that part of the face. So like, let's think back to the highlighter craze. Highlight was a lot more targeted there. It was on the high points because highlighter was lifting. And now to essentially be putting a highlighter, like granted it's a pink toned highlight, but it is still at its core a highlighter, to be putting it right here lifts the face in a very weird way that I find is not flattering for a lot of people. And you can let me know down below if you're like, girl, totally disagree, love this product, it looks gorgeous on me. But I find in general, at least, okay, speaking for my own face and my face shape, to have the highlight there, it ends up like emphasizing the structure of my cheek in the weirdest way that kind of like draws down my face. I feel like my cheeks look distorted. I just don't end up liking the result on this. Maybe if I'm applying it with the lightest hand in the whole world, sure, but I wish I wouldn't have bought this product, to be honest. And I will say this style of hybrid glowy blush highlighter cheek situation is becoming more and more popular right now. I also, again, swatched all the Kosas ones in that last video. I have a little bit of one of the Kosas ones on my cheeks today as a topper. Well, not as a topper. As a second blush. Okay, that's a better description. First, I did the e.l.f. liquid blush and then the Kosas one on top of it as my powder on top of my liquid. And this I find to be a better formula. Like, this is what I'm after when I'm wanting a blush that has some glow to it. This, no. Okay, this one makes me sad. I mean, these all make me sad. I'm never happy to not like a product, but this one in particular, I had such high hopes for because it is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Tint. This is such a popular skin tint on the internet right now, and Danessa Myricks is a brand that I adore. I think Danessa Myricks as a makeup artist is so innovative. I love the direction she's taken her brand, so I'm always so excited about anything Danessa Myricks in general. So I wanted to love this. Like, I wanted to love this so much. I'll start off by saying it's incredibly glowy in finish. So depending on your preferences, you might enjoy that. I tend to like something that sits down a little more satin, but that being said, I can still get along with a glowy product, especially depending on the other pairings I'm working with. So I knew that going into it, but I was like, you know, I still have other glowy products I like. But what I ran into with this one was mostly the dry down and the way it sits on my skin. So first of all, I find that it doesn't have much give when it comes to blending out, which contrasts a lot of other skin tints. Usually they're very user-friendly. I feel like you can like let it sit here, blend it out slowly. There's no rush, there's no effort required. This one, I feel like I have to work it in pretty quickly or it does set down. I mean, that as well is something I could look past, but it was the way that this would sit on my skin, and especially in some of my dry areas, it would cling and separate and just start acting a little bit funky, which seemed strange to me because of like the nature of how dewy and glowy this is. It seemed like a product that would be really conducive to my dry skin, but in reality, it just left me with a finish that was almost too glowy while not sitting on my skin in a way that was flattering. Like from a distance, maybe, but like if you're talking to me face to face, it's like, oh, what's going on with your foundation? There's like something around your nose, around the lip. This region is my trouble area. It's always like the toughest test for any foundation. Like sitting well on a forehead or cheeks, that's kindergarten stuff. But like around here, that's where we separate the good foundations from the mediocre. And this guy just landed in mediocre, which broke my heart because I want to love everything from Danessa Myricks, but I find the brand to be really hit or miss for myself personally. Like they either make some of my absolute favorite products, like their primer, their liquid eyeshadows, so good, like some of the best in my collection. But then other things I've tried just have not worked out for me. Like I have a few brands like that where there are certain brands where you're like, okay, almost everything from this brand works for me. Like this brand tends to vibe with my preferences, my skin type, my needs. And then you have other brands where you're like, in general, these don't work for me. But I have a couple of brands where it is so polarizing. I'm like, They have some of my favorite products in the world, and they have some of my least favorite products I've ever tried. I'm not saying this is my least favorite ever, but you know what I mean. Another brand for me that fits that description is Jones Road. If I had to list like my most used makeup products, like my top 10, like I would have multiple Jones Road products in that list. But if you were then to ask me, what are some of the worst products you've tried in the last year or two, I would have multiple Jones Road products on that list. Like there are just certain brands for me where I'm like, it's either the best thing ever or it doesn't work for me. And this just didn't work for me, even though I wanted it to. I can make it work, but you know, kind of wish I would have skipped this one. Same for this, and I think this was partially influenced by the shade, but let me explain. This is from Rare Beauty, and this is their cream eyeshadow. I heard so many people talk about how much they love the Rare Beauty cream eyeshadow, or like the eyeshadow sticks. So I picked this one up, and I'm typically drawn to like a champagne or a softer gold or even a rose gold. And so this one time I was like, let me step outside my comfort zone. Let me get something a little bit different. Let me switch it up. So I picked up this bronzy shade, which seemed so beautiful in the swatches. And in a swatch, it is totally beautiful. The shade is called Adventure. But this, in my experience, at least this particular shade, only translates well in a swatch like that. So if I'm trying to apply this over my eyelid and blend it out to use as an eyeshadow, it's not working. Like there's no way. So my workaround for that is that I'm getting use out of this wearing it as an eyeliner, whether that's like on the waterline here, which it's always a little funky to apply a big like chubby stick to your waterline. But I think this looks beautiful there, and this bronze shade in particular really makes the eyes pop. So it's pretty there, and like I'm getting use from it. But I also tend to sometimes use it on my lash line. And if you work quickly, you can sometimes take a liner brush and like make a bronzy metallic eyeliner out of it. So there's good use for it like that. But I bought this wanting to wear it all over the eyelid, and I have not been able to get that to look nice. Like by the time you blend it out, it is so patchy and sheared out, and it loses that metallic quality to it. Like that, I hate when I run into that with certain eyeshadow sticks. It's like they look so nice on that initial swatch or swipe, but then when you blend it out, it's like, okay, where did all of that gorgeous texture and shine and metallic finish go? Like a lot of them just disappear, and that's what I found with this. So sometimes I'll use it to layer, but I mean, even still, I don't know. I wanna see right now, actually, how this compares to my favorite bronze eyeliner from KELLYG. Okay, found it. So this is Gilded Gold from KELLYG, and this is like $7, and let's see how similar, because that's the only use I end up having for this is wearing it. Yeah, very similar. I was gonna say is wearing it on the waterline, and I think it makes the eyes pop in a really beautiful way, but I've always felt like the pop is pretty similar and the overall finish is very similar to what I get for my $7 KELLYG liner. And seeing them here, they're almost identical. This is the Rare Beauty and this is the KELLYG. I think the Rare Beauty one shows a little bit more of a deep base to it. So I actually think the KELLYG one almost has more of a metallic sparkle to it. So if you had your eye on this, thinking maybe you wanted to wear it in the waterline, I would try this one from KELLYG. It's the shade Gilded Gold. This has been like a holy grail of mine for years for wearing in the waterline to get that sparkle. And this is only $7 versus $22. I know KELLYG's harder to get your hands on in stores. Sometimes I've seen it at like Rite Aid or Sally's, but if you are shopping on their website, I do have an affiliate code. It is Kelly25, I'm pretty sure. I think Meyer too if you're in the Midwest. But anyways, I would say this over this all day. Let me know if you have any viral products that you regret picking up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.